members of the OG Army. Get those wallets unfolded. Coming up next on the OtherGround live stage, prepare for an eargasm by Passive J and Big Dalton.
Good afternoon, and welcome to yet another edition of OtherGround Live. Excuse me, I'm Passive J, and that's Big Dalton over there. Say hello, Ryan.
It is June the 4th. It is a Thursday. I am 3 White Claws in because I just got off a 2-hour fucking phone call.
Oh my. As a person who has a lot of experience with phone calls, that sucks fucking ass. I see the OG Army is forming up in the chat box. Always happy to see you guys here. Well, I guess you kind of just told us how your day went, Ryan. Anything else you got?
Fucking nothing.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I got all kinds of stuff. But before we get started, as always, like I mentioned, I want to thank the OG Army for showing up. Of course, there's all kinds of stuff to talk about today that related to the protests and the riots and all that good stuff. But we'll start with my stuff because we always do. Weird day for me today. Mostly good. It turns out I am not going back to work next Tuesday. I'm going back to work tomorrow.
Who goes back to work on a Friday? That just seems weird.
Well, the thing is, they're announcing today that we are starting to take reservations for the season tomorrow. So that's why they want me back at work tomorrow, because they figure we're just going to get blown the fuck up. I'm also going in tomorrow to after the mandatory meeting for all the COVID adjustments to basically clean out the office. Apparently it's a fucking disaster area. Luckily the clubhouse is closed. As I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to be able to wear regular clothes as opposed to a suit. Well, that would suck. But from then on, like Saturday, Sunday, I'll have Monday off, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, probably for the rest of the season. Which means, unfortunately, I had to move my dentist appointment. I tried to find someone to cover for me, but I couldn't. Luckily, my tooth doesn't hurt, so it's not really bothering me. I'm just slightly concerned it might break more in the 2.5 to 3 weeks before they could find another spot to fit me in. But it is what it is. They need me at work. I got to be at work.
Well, stop chewing on rocks, and you're going to be fine.
Yep. So that was a good thing, though. I'm glad to be going back to work. The bad thing for today was apparently I totally forgot all about registration last year. You know, like car registration.
Jesus Christ, Jay. Come on now.
I have no clue how it happens. They send you fucking paperwork every year. The day I get the paperwork, I go fucking do it on the computer. It takes 5 minutes. That's one of those things that as soon as I get them, I take care of it because, you know, I don't want to take any chance of forgetting it. So it's inconceivable that I forgot. Ruthie's asking what's registration. Car registration. We have to, here in the United States, pay a yearly fee for our car to be registered with the state. I have no clue why, but normally it's probably about somewhere between $100 to $150 a year for most new cars. Ours were a little bit more because we had to pay for basically a year and a half. You know, because we had to pay for our upcoming year because our plates, our tags expire in August. Plus, we had to pay for all of last year because they don't let you off on that. I imagine there's probably some penalty fees, but I remember having done this like a couple months late before or something like that 5 or 10 years ago. And the penalties aren't all that much. So I think mostly what I had to pay was the back year. Of course, there was a $115 ticket from the cop that noticed that my wife's registration was like 9 months expired. So that didn't go too well. That was $115. Turns out to get the tags for my wife's awesome Chevy Equinox was $330, and my amazing Ford Fiesta was $225. So it was an expensive day today. Granted, only about $110 to $115 to $200 of that was my fuck up, the ticket and whatever, like the little bit of registration penalties there were. Most of that was just me paying for something I should have paid for last year. So I didn't actually lose money, although it's never fun to basically blow $1,000 for no reason.
Well, goddamn, pal, you gotta stay up on these things. Interestingly enough, I found out when I'm going back to the office, that was part of that long ass call,
Oh yeah.
So I am going back into the actual physical office after Labor Day.
After Labor Day. Wow, it's the summer at home, huh?
Apparently, yeah. That was like part of it is like, so they still knew like everything with like kids are still all fucked up, and like the ability to like, you know, have people watch kids and shit over the summer. And they just figured it's gonna be a lot easier if we just plan to have everyone come back after Labor Day. Also gives time to like figure out what they're going to do with like all of the cleaning and shit of the building to, you know, be ramped up or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. And of course, we're going to be doing that as well tomorrow, talking about all the changes. I do know some of the changes already. For example, my employee meal is suddenly very, very different. To give you a mental picture, employee meals are served in the basement in our break room. They have a big table there with warmers on it. I'm sure there's an actual name for it, but basically it's a big metal table with slots in it, with heaters underneath it. You drop trays of food into the slots, and turn on the burners underneath it, and it keeps food warm. That was where our food normally went. If it's something that didn't need to be warm, they didn't turn on the warmers. So like, you know, so if they dropped in like a trough of coleslaw, but a lot of times, but if they dropped like a whole bunch of burgers in there or whatever, that's not how things are going to work right now. Because of the social distancing and things like that, we're not just going to have like an 11 to 11:30 lunch shift. This is going to be broken up in different departments. We'll be going to lunch at different times, and you're not going to be using the food troughs, obviously, because of the risk of contamination and spreading disease. For the foreseeable future, you're going to go out back, outside, where they got a grill set up, and they're doing grilling what they're doing that day. And then I think they have a couple stations set up, spread out more. I'm not sure how it's going to work exactly. I found this out because my wife sent me a picture of the announcement on it. And I'll be honest with you, this actually works out okay with my diet thing that we talk about so much. Let me find this for a second, and I'll tell you what it is. It's not going to be great. I'm still going to have to like bring in rice, and I don't know what I'm going to do about a vegetable. But it looks like I got the meat thing covered for most meals there. Let me scroll up a little bit more. So you're going to be doing a lot more shopping at home and Grubhub and stuff like that again, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I just had 20 pounds of chicken delivered this morning, so that's that's good.
I assume you got a separate freezer.
Well, yeah, I have a deep freeze, but yeah, I was getting low on the chicken side where I had plenty of red meat. So there's actually a website called the Chicken Pound. Basically, they do a bunch of like bodybuilder prep and shit like that, where you can get, you know, however many pounds of like solid chicken breast. So I, you know, just ordered 20 pounds because why not?
Right. It sounds like a pretty valuable resource. Okay, I found it. And the reason it's weird is because I know it's a set menu every day, which is going to help me out. And every day I can basically eat the main thing except for one day. Like Tuesday is now going to be a kosher dog, chips, coleslaw, tossed salad, a cookie, and as an aside, black bean burgers are available on every day for the vegans and vegetarians, but I can't have that because black beans are apparently bad for the IBS. So Tuesday, that's fine. I can have the hot dogs as a meat source.
So are you volunteering to be the guy that tosses the salads?
I think there's a little Mexican guy that does that. Like that was Tuesday. Wednesdays is hamburger, potato salad, tossed salad, chips, Rice Krispie bar. Thursday is chicken breast, chips, pasta salad, tossed salad, and cookie. Friday is tilapia, coleslaw, tossed salad, popcorn, and pretzels and a Rice Krispie bar. That's fancy. Saturday is the only day that might give me problems. I'm going to try it, but I might have to skip that day because it's barbecue chicken. And apparently quite a few different barbecue sauces can set off certain people with IBS. It's a case-by-case basis. But that's barbecue chicken, chips, potato salad, tossed salad, and cookie. And leading up on Sunday, where it's going to be bratwurst, chips, coleslaw, tossed salad, and a cookie. So like I said, for all those days, I will be able to eat the main meal, although I'll have to bring in like rice, and I don't know what I'm going to do about a vegetable. They don't have microwave vegetables, do they?
You can microwave pretty much any vegetable.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Just throw some green beans in a bring a bowl and throw some green beans in it.
Yeah, it's
Jay,
not super
Trey's saying to
difficult.
take the marbles out of my mouth. Well, oh, speaking of marbles in my mouth, how do I sound? I have all of my equipment together. That preamp and processor we were talking about came in today, so I hooked it all up, and hopefully it sounds better than it did before.
Well, I don't know yet because your dogs haven't started barking, so I don't know exactly like where your noise gate and things like that are set.
Right, right.
And please
But
tell
the,
me like you're not gonna fucking read the entire goddamn week's menu every fucking week like a goddamn
No,
lunch
no.
lady.
No, it's because it's if nothing else, it's not going to change. Yeah, but so yeah, I set what I did was I watched a setup video with recommended settings for like the compressor, like the thing that boosts the bass and the treble. I can't remember what the name of it is. I didn't touch the de-esser because what they said, if you don't have a problem with it, don't fuck with that one. And I'm not sure if I do. Do I go a lot? You think I need to fuck with the de-esser?
You do have a little bit of a lisp, and you should probably back away from the microphone just a little bit. Like you get heavy proximity effect.
Yeah, that's something else I probably need to work with. I don't know. Do you think this would be better? I can always turn up the gain a little bit if it's not quite loud enough.
No, you're fine. I think you were a little loud anyway, based on
Okay,
what people
well,
were saying.
Okay. All right. Well, so how about now? So do you think this would probably be a better spot? Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
I
you
appreciate
sound more
that.
natural. Otherwise, you get really close, and all of a sudden you get that bassy voice because you're right up on a fucking microphone.
Right. I can understand that. Well, as I mentioned, the old microphone you had it was a dynamic microphone with zero power gain to it, so you had to get right up on it. Excuse me. Ironically enough, for microphones like that, they recommend getting what I already got. The preamp, because they said dynamic microphones need something like that, otherwise you're not gonna get enough gain out of them. Which is why I always ate the mic and turn the gain fucking all the way up.
Well, yeah, that's why no one that really does this sort of thing uses a dynamic microphone outside of the Shure SM7B. But for that, you need a pretty hefty preamp to be able to get enough gain.
Right. It's interesting that in addition to the podcaster, that Rode made that I had, they have a Procaster, and I've seen a couple people using that on videos and stuff. And it's not really, I haven't looked into the differences. I think it's just like a XLR or whatever that cable name connection is different, or I don't know, some shit. But I've seen a guy do like 2 or 3 reviews for his preamp using that. He seemed pretty happy with it. But I guess it's a matter of taste at that point.
It's a poor man's Shure SM7B.
Uh-oh.
Oh, goddamn.
Now we're testing the sound gate, right?
Now we can
Well, the dog is in my room. He's hanging out like 4 feet from it. So I don't think we're going to avoid that one at all. But you guys let him be able to hear stuff. Okay. That's enough. Go bark in the other room. There you go. But you guys can't hear all this stuff like my computer fan and shit like that, I assume.
No, you sound fine. Like, I think from now on, we don't have to go complete audio nerd because I think you're relatively set up.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I realize this is interesting to like 3 people, and for the rest of you, you're just fucking sick of it. But I wanted to get it right. So now that I know I'm be about 6 inches away from the microphone, not going to touch any other settings if everyone thinks it sounds good. So we're good. Uh-oh. We got a new caller calling in. Holy shit.
Oh, snap.
That's it. Oh, snap. Let's see who this is. Hello, caller. What can we do for you today?
Well, I was wondering what your show is about because I tuned in just a little bit ago.
Oh, well, we are about everything. Imagine like a morning talk show radio with less Whitesnake. Or actually 0 Whitesnake, since we don't play music.
So just really, no, like, Jay, just stop sugarcoating things. Like, really, if you think about it, this show is, you have that uncle that you don't really trust at the dinner table. That's what we talk about.
There you go. Yeah, we talk about a little bit of everything. Anything from the fact that my dogs won't shut the fuck up to current events. We talk a lot about mixed martial arts and UFC, since we're all fans of that.
Step of how he takes a shower.
Yes, you missed that one. That was amazing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was a different show. I went a little OCD and explained exactly how I shower. It was very thrilling for about one person and pretty annoying for the rest of the audience. So I try not to do that as much. Excuse me, I had to
what,
get a water. Go ahead, son. I'm sorry.
what do you think about this coronavirus?
I'm hoping that we're pretty much past it. As I mentioned earlier in the show, I'm going back to work at my other job tomorrow after being off since we've been closed since March. We actually closed before that, but that's a different story. So I'm appreciating getting back to work.
Apparently it's gone. Like, coronavirus apparently is not a thing. All it took was for a black guy to get murdered, and then for mass protests to happen, and then for riots to happen, and then for looting to happen. It just knocked itself down on the list.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I did think it was funny. The governor of Michigan, as I mentioned, I try not to get political, but this was too good to ignore. Like 3 weeks ago, she was throwing a fit because the people were protesting about having to stay home. So they're gathering in the Capitol in front of the Capitol building. And some of them had guns and they had signs up saying this is bullshit. And she was like, "You can't protest during this type of thing. You need to go home. You're putting yourself at risk and putting others at risk." I saw her yesterday, marching with the protesters, like in downtown Detroit. I was like, well, I guess it's only okay to protest against certain things.
I actually heard that the Little Caesars Arena, so I think that's where the Pistons play, right?
Yes, it is.
Is being used to process all of the Detroit criminals.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean like the ones that are getting arrested? Yeah, because the Detroit Police Department has a way different attitude about it than the governor does. They are not putting up with a lot of shit. So from what I understand, they're arresting a lot of people.
Well, yeah, that's Detroit for you. You and your dirty fucking criminals.
Well, I believe that's pretty much every big city. I don't think Detroit's unique in that. All the big cities are going to have a problem with this. Criminals taking advantage of a situation. Speaking of criminals taking advantage of a situation, did you see, I believe in California, a whole bunch of looters broke into a dealership and stole a shitload of Hellcats and Chargers and Challengers and whatever the Jeep one is. I can't remember the name of that shit. But yeah, so 50 different vehicles, and they took off with them. So if you're going to loot shit, I guess they have good taste.
Now, if you're going to loot shit, go for stuff that's not really traceable.
Yeah,
Cars anymore, they're all connected. Like, the same people that were looting Apple stores, and they would get home and see the message on their iPhone saying, "Hey, you should probably bring this back because we're tracking you as we speak."
Yeah, there's all those are special demo models that you can't use outside of the store, really. So yeah, that was idiotic. I figure most people know that. But the entire car thing, there were the Hellcats, Chargers, Challengers, and Trackhawks, which is like the Jeep version of their souped-up thing.
So those are nice makes cars. A good point here. We did almost forget we have a caller here. So Roger, do you cup the balls or not?
What?
Take that as a yes.
I'm not touching that one.
All right, Jay, go ahead.
So caller, what can we actually? I'm sorry, we kind of got off on a tangent. What can we actually do for you today? Tell us about yourself. What's your name?
My name's Robert, and I live out in Iowa.
Oh, all right. Oh, Robert from Iowa. We appreciate the phone call. First time listener, I would assume. As you can see, we just talk about whatever bullshit comes to our mind. It's not really a topic type show. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Still a shithole out there?
What?
Is Iowa still a shithole?
Not sure. I live in Iowa Falls, so I don't see too many of the protesters because most of them's in the bigger cities like Ames, Des Moines, Waterloo, and bigger cities away from where I live.
Which is good, obviously. You don't want to be in the thick of that shit. That's best to be observed from afar.
It's best to watch it on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm still laughing about that video we talked about the other day with the college kids up in their apartment, knocking on the window to get the protesters' attention so they can give them the thumbs up, which the protesters immediately responded to by throwing rocks through their window. Yeah, around that stuff, you don't attract attention. You just hunker down and wait for it to go by. You can express your support on the internet. Don't do that shit in person.
Yeah. If you see protesters, just let them walk on by like you didn't even see them.
Right on. So is there anything else we can do for you today, boss?
Nope.
All righty, we're gonna let you go then. I appreciate you calling, man. Call back anytime.
Okay.
All right, you have a great day. Bye bye. Alrighty. And speaking of protesters and looting, did you see that the YouTuber Jake Paul criminally charged by police after Arizona mall looting?
Yeah, absolutely. Good for fucking them for charging that dumbass.
I
Goddamn
know.
millionaire, and you need to go out and loot.
Yeah, I think he was like, once again, he was social posturing. You know, look at me, I'm trendy, I'm looting. I'm sure he thought it'd be a whole bunch of hits on his YouTube channel, make him a whole bunch more money. And in certain regards, it probably will. But he's gonna have to pay a pretty steep fine for it, I'd imagine.
So like these retarded, like just social profiling morons.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's little less in this world that I absolutely fucking hate than these people. So your
Right.
Jake
Yeah.
Pauls and your Kardashians, and there's even been some I've seen it just circulate on Twitter of like these fucking Instagram morons will go up and someone will be like boarding up windows on their shop and they'll ask to hold the drill so they can get a picture to look like they're, volunteering. Like these people are fucking stupid.
Yeah, they are. It's ridiculous, obviously.
You
Yeah,
do
I'm
that.
distracted
You do
by the
that
fact.
when I'm out like volunteering somewhere, and I'm just gonna
Right.
accidentally drop a hammer on your fucking foot.
All right. I hate to go back to the audio thing, but I can tell I'm going to have to adjust some settings because of where I'm sitting now. I'm glad we sound good, but I am going to fuck with it some more. Okay, moving on. Also, once again, speaking about the looters, I saw this yesterday and we never got around to talking about it. Apparently, a guy used a clown mask to cover up his face while burning down a police car, despite the fact that he had a really prominent neck tattoo, which the mask did not cover.
See, this is why you don't get facial and neck tattoos.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do some hood rat shit, they're gonna find you. See, what you need to do is not be tattooed at all, and before you go do hood rat shit, you put on temporary tattoos.
Trickery. Yeah, and to make it even better, it's considered like a serious crime because it's a police car. So the dude could go to jail for 20 years.
Good, stupid.
You know,
Like we really need to get back to like survival of the fittest. Like, let's just let these people kind of rot away. Let's just stop, let's stop the whole like not serving peanuts to people because they might be allergic. Let's get
I thought you
fucking
said penis
savage.
for a second.
No, you can have all the cock you want, Jay.
Oh, shit. Well, that was about all the stuff that I collected because once again, every day it's the same looter stuff over and over again. So you got anything you want to talk about before I go to random topics off the internet? I'm sorry, guys. I really should be doing more research on it, but it was a busy day and it's really depressing just looking through the news, trying to find stuff that's not this fucking horrible bullshit that we're going through right now.
Yeah, there's just not really much out there in the form of like real fucking news. Like everything is this city's protesters, this many people were arrested here, this person did this fucked up thing.
Right. I mean, and we can spend our entire day making fun of the celebrities that are doing all this bullshit. Some of them have their heart in the right place, and some of them I think are just fucking idiots. Like I just clicking at a random link. Halsey reflects on being white passing as a biracial woman. I'm not susceptible to the violence. So basically, she's apparently part black.
Is she really?
She posted. Well, I would assume so.
She looks super white, and she's just been kind of passed around by like low tier rappers. So I don't necessarily need to hear anything she has to say.
Right. Well, she doesn't look white to me, but that's what she's claiming, that she being able to pass as white has made a completely different situation to her.
Halsey
She
doesn't
looks-
look white to you? Like, do you not see
Halsey?
the white?
No, she's she's not dark, but to me she's like a very light brown, and at least the picture I'm looking at right now, her hair is like kind of curly, kinky. She looks like she's biracial. But she posted, "I'm white passing. It's not my place to say we. It's my place to help. I'm a pain for my family, but no one is going to kill me based on my skin color." I think she might be wrong in that. I think she's mistaken herself, as passing for white because she's pretty. It's
No,
funny.
she passes for white because she's white.
Well, I don't know.
She's
I
Sammy
like I
Sosa
said,
white.
really? I mean, I'll tell you. Let me pick up a different picture because the one I'm looking at does
I
not
just went
look
to
white.
Google and put Halsey, Halsey.
Oh, that's not the same girl.
So who
Oh,
the fuck
you know
are you
what?
talking about?
You know what? I apologize. This is article. It says Halsey, but it's got a picture of Beyonce at the top of it.
You didn't fucking
That-
know that? You didn't know who
that-
Beyonce was when you looked at her?
I don't know.
What
No,
in
not
God's
recently.
name, Jay? Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I don't follow Beyonce and all that stuff, so that explains that. Because okay, let me scroll. Okay, oh, I see the picture here you're talking about. Yeah, she looks like a white chick. So she's a white chick and wants to pretend she's a little bit black. Apparently, that's what that is.
Well, I mean,
Not like
there's,
you, Dalton,
there's
who's
been
mostly black.
plenty of black in her, but I don't necessarily know in her ethnicity.
God, okay, that makes way more sense. I'm looking at that picture, going, dude, she looks black to me, or at least partially black. I don't know why she needs to say this stuff. Okay,
I
that makes
cannot
a lot
believe
more
you were
sense.
looking at a picture of Beyonce and just figuring, oh, I guess that's Halsey.
Well, that's what the article said. Jeez, I take things at face value. What do you like? What do you want from me?
At
let's
least
see
a
what
little
else we
bit
got.
of, paying attention to the world.
Oh. Did you see that Las Vegas is open again? At least some of the casinos in downtown.
Yeah, a lot of them are selling off rooms for like $20 a night or something.
Yeah, which isn't that great of a deal. Yeah, I found like rooms at the fucking.
Yeah, you can get them out cheap normally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like I've stayed at the MGM Grand, absurdly cheap. It was by far the cheapest part of our stay was staying at the hotel. The reason I moved down to downtown for my second stay was because while the hotel room at the MGM Grand was cheap, everything else there was expensive as fuck, like $7 for a banana and stupid bullshit like that. So I was told the prices are way more reasonable downtown, and they were correct. It seems like more of the place for me. I'm not strip people. I'm downtown people.
Yeah, you're just not Vegas people.
I enjoyed it. It was a good time. I don't gamble, but it's a great place for people watching. I spent most of my day just wandering around looking at shit.
And I'm sure plenty of people are watching the 14-foot awkward man watching them.
That's funny. Let's see what else we got on the old news tab today. Yahoo News, our source for everything. It's not good. I've already scrolled down to see the stuff that we were talking about yesterday. Once again, that Seth Rogen thing. Firing back at people with the Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter shit. So now apparently Ashton Kutcher has joined in with him, telling people that. See, I agree with Seth Rogen, but comments like "you don't deserve my movies" are so fucking pretentious. Like his movies are some awesome thing that if he takes them away from people, they'll be horrified and dismayed.
Yeah, I can't think of any. Can't think of any great Seth Rogen movies. I'm sorry.
No, I mean there's some good, decent ones. As a comedic actor, he's not horrible. Like I thought, Zack and Miri Make a Porno was pretty good. The first time I watched This Is the End, I fucking hated it, but the second time I liked it quite a bit more.
Yeah,
you ever seen This Is the End?
Yeah, I did. Like it's one of those kind of inside joke after inside joke type of movies.
Right. Oh, hold on, we got Raj calling in again. Maybe they have something else to say. Oh, you're back. What else can we do for you today?
Well, I think somebody on the chat wanted me to call back, and I'm not sure who that was.
Alrighty. Well, I'm not sure. If you got something else to say, definitely. What else we got, sir?
Well, someone in the chat said, ask me about my babysitting jobs and Legos. So
Okay. I don't know what that means, but go ahead.
Who would have that been?
I don't know. I don't understand the reference. I'm a little lost here. Ryan, what do you got?
I have no fucking clue.
No? Okay.
No,
all
nothing.
right. Well, I don't know what any of that means, so we're going to let you go. You have a great day, boss. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but we're going to move on from that. I said I didn't have many topics. Not that we were going to play around.
In the dumbest virtue signaling of the day,
Uh-huh.
I see
Yes,
that
sir.
Rockstar Games put out a tweet that Black Lives Matter, and to honor the legacy of George Floyd today, from 2 to 4 Eastern, a whopping 2 hours, they'll be shutting down access to their online games Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Online. Like, I don't think that's necessarily the target group that you just want to shut out. Like, I don't think they're the most, like, socially conscious groups.
Really, I mean, this is seriously a thing. They're turning off Grand Theft Auto Online for 2 hours as a show of solidarity, huh?
Yeah, apparently it's already over. It was from 2 to 4, but yeah, I guess that was the thing.
That's that really surprised me that they would basically make it involuntary for people, which is a kind of different step than all these other companies are making. Well, quite a few of them are putting out emails saying, how horrible that is and how they don't support that kind of thing. But very few of them were actually, I mean, it doesn't cost them anything, really. All it does is fuck up their customers for a couple hours. So it is kind of virtue what's the phrase again?
Virtue signaling?
Virtue signaling, yes. That's exactly what that is. But there's so much stuff like that going on. What's the one I saw the other day that I was thinking of?
Well, the good one that was put out, apparently Ben and Jerry's are like super like into this shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me in the least bit. They've always been very socially conscious, from what I understand.
I tell you what, I don't even like ice cream, and after I read their like kind of long, drawn out statement, the next day I ordered a bunch of ice cream, which I just ended up tossing.
Yeah, I like ice cream. I can't have it though. It gives me stomach issues. One of the many things that do. And ice cream is always a good treat. It's one of the few things that I missed from when I quit eating sweets and stuff.
Oh no, here comes Depressive Jay again. God
Depressive
damn.
Jay can't have anything. No, that's fine. I'm actually pretty cool. I don't, I've never been a big food person in the first place, so it's always been easier for me to regulate my food than other people. That's why I have a hard time feeling, bad for fat people, because it's so easy for me. Obviously, it's not easy for other people, but for me, it's easier to lose weight than it is to gain it.
So how militant and crazy are you going to be starting tomorrow? Like after being high all day, every day for like 2 months longer than normal.
Yeah.
Like, how it'll be interesting. Handle like being at work for several hours.
I like it. It's never been a problem for me because I don't smoke weed at work, so I don't think about weed at work. It's not, I might be for the next couple of days, I might feel a little weird and uncomfortable during the day, but it's not a big deal for me. I have no desire to smoke while I'm there. I don't think I do a good of a job. It'll be interesting to see how I do the show now because I get home at 5. I have to eat something. The show starts at 6. I might be able to smoke a little bit, but I'm not be able to get that much into me. So it'll be a completely different Jay tomorrow, folks.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Remember a couple days after I quit smoking wax? I imagine it's going to be something like that. But permanently now.
Well, that was just more you not being able to make a coherent thought and being way more mush mouth than normal.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, if that's possible, really. That's the problem of getting a new mic. Now you guys can hear even more clearly how I mispronounce shit.
Yeah, it's pretty sad for someone who banks on their voice.
And
especially being like 78 years old, like you've had a lot of experience speaking.
Yeah, but I have a lot of experience speaking repetitive things or recording things. Speaking live on the spot, I don't have a ton of experience. Like ad-libbing stuff. That's what the issue is. Although I think, or at least I hopefully think I'm getting better as the show goes along about being able to string words together without having them prepared beforehand. At my job, I say a lot of the same words over and over. Like I answer the phone the same way every time. So people think I sound goddamn amazing. I'm like, yeah, I've been practicing that for 15 years. Of course I sound amazing, goddamn it. But, you don't give me time to practice stuff. You don't give me time to pre-record stuff and go over it several times until it's the way I sound it. The real Jay is kind of a fuck up when it comes to speaking.
Oh, imagine that. Well, you could have stopped with after up, like you didn't have to go with speaking.
Yeah, I see that. But that's fine. That's fine. I think I'm getting better every day, and it's going to be a process. You know, it's like anything else. You need to practice it to be good at it. So I think the fact that we're doing an hour every day has made me quite a bit better already. And since I have no plans to stop our schedule, except for the fight thing, I have no plans to stop our schedule. So we're going to keep rolling along. Chose this time because it was a good time for you, and it was a good time for me to be able to get it in while I was working. So I don't think there'll be any problems for the most part.
There better not be. We have to hit at
Nope.
least a year straight, and that includes any pay-per-view UFC fight companions.
I never agreed to that, sir. I told you when we started this that once I went back to work, I wouldn't be able to do those.
No, you're going to do them. Like we all gotta. I mean, we all have to kind of nut up here, Jay. Everyone makes sacrifices.
It's not that it's so much the sacrifice of sleep for me. As I've mentioned multiple times, I have a speech impediment, and when I'm really tired, it comes back really bad. I start slurring my words. I have trouble pronouncing things. It sounds like I'm drunk, and I can't go to my work that tired because it's just not acceptable. I can't answer the phones all day sounding like I've had 5 or 6. So,
Jay.
So I mean,
Jay, I did a fight companion until after 1 a.m. in the goddamn morning, and got up at 4 a.m. for work.
And then went back to bed at like 5. So that's not the same thing, sir.
Absolutely the same thing. I was up and I was functional.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll talk about it some more. But yeah, the regular show, no danger of anything changing. We're gonna be here every goddamn day. You know, we're in the 70s now for how many episodes we've done. Let me pull up the stats here. It's kind of surprising. Yeah, we have done 72 episodes. This is number 73 of the OtherGround Live. We've done 81 total episodes, if you count the fight companions, and we've put in 98 hours of podcasting so far in between the regular episodes and the fight companions. So we're about to bust.
God damn it!
What?
You were supposed to book a goddamn porn star for episode 69, and you dropped the ball.
Shit. God damn! You know, I didn't even notice. I apologize. And we've had some good episodes. I think I enjoyed having Serena on quite a bit. Pat was a great thing for the second episode. We can get Serena on anytime we want. I think we could probably ask her again sometime soon. Pat, maybe not. I think he was just being nice because he's Grad's friend. I think his offer to come on again might not have been all that serious, but that's okay. I appreciate him being on the one time.
Well, we need to get new people. So like, you need to find some folks on the OtherGround or the underground that are interesting. Get them on here. Put them.
I haven't had any luck at all with posting on the OtherGround. I bumped it several times. I might try a post on the underground. Maybe that might have a different crowd to it.
Even beyond that, don't just post a thread saying, "Hey, I want people to come on the podcast." Like, find the interesting people and be like, "Hey, we're doing a podcast. Come on."
We tried that with the doctor dude, and he did say he was going to be on at some point, but he's been pretty busy, obviously. You know who we need to hit? We need to hit up our buddy, fucking Macho Man. We haven't had him on quite a while. I'm going to send him a message on Facebook and see. Obviously, I'm assuming he's just been busy. I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally piss him off or something. You don't want the Macho Man pissed off at you. That's a bad thing. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I'm pissed off at Passive J.
He's not going to be much of a fight. But beyond that, just take some of the fucking people from the OG and be like, "Hey, we're doing this show. We'd like to actually book you on a certain date. You go ahead and pick the date. We want to talk about some stuff. You can promote whatever the fuck you want to promote."
No, that's a good idea. Oh, excuse me.
We're supposed to be working on like your interpersonal skills. So if we start with like OtherGround people that already have kind of a relationship to all of these deranged animals we call the OG Army,
right?
Like, that should be easier to approach, and then you can start working, with people on Twitter and stuff like that, instead of just blindly tweeting Kevin Smith and hoping
and praying. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to work on that. Hey, what are you barking at? Go on, get out of here. Take that with you.
God damn, quit throwing shit at the dogs.
No, she dropped it when she jumped off the couch. Yeah, I think obviously we'll have to play up the sound gate a little bit more. I think we could probably do a better job of. I don't know. The dog was in the room. I don't think a sound gate's going to do much about that.
No, you're never going to get rid of dog barks, Jay. Like, it's simple things like you typing like an absolute madman.
Well, I mean,
you don't have to type like this.
well, this is my normal typing.
Yeah, your noise gate is garbage.
Well, I just probably don't have it turned up enough then, apparently, huh?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's garbage. Your ability to set these things needs some work.
It's garbage. I did exactly like they said. They said turn it up until it just starts flashing red, and then turn it up 2 more past that, and that should be a good start for your sound gate. But apparently, I need to turn it up way more. Huh? How about if I turn it up like this to here, and
can still hear it.
Yeah, well, yeah. If I type,
you need to work on that. Not on the show. We're not here to be tech support for you.
Well, damn, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier that way to figure out whether I have it right or not, though.
No, it's super simple. All you got to do is go into PodBean, and there's an option to like record a podcast.
Yeah, you would think so, but I've been waiting 3 hours for it to finish processing the 30-second.
You don't wait for it to fucking process. There's a way to go in here, and you basically do it in real time. You record a short part, and then you just you play it back, and then you redo, and it takes you back to the beginning. It's like it doesn't take any time to process anything.
I don't know what you're speaking on then, because when I hit end, any podcast is the same. When I hit end, it finishes up the podcast. Then you have a button, that says, let me get the exact thing, so so I don't misquote myself. There's a it says I'll say Underground Live finished, and under a tab that says actions. If you hit actions, you can say get recording or delete. If I hit get recording, I have 2 options. I can publish it or download it.
Jay, you're not even going into the right place. Like, you don't go in as a live podcast. You go in as an offline podcast.
Oh, is that a thing?
God damn, Jay.
Well, no, I have unlisted, but about this show, where I don't see where it says that you can do an online, not online podcast. I can do an unlisted one. It says anyone with the link can join will not be listed on the PodBean app. Can be used for invitation-only streams, remote recording with co-hosts and guests, or testing. So that's what I was doing. I didn't realize there's another option, and I don't know where it is.
Well, you need to figure that out, and probably not on air.
So, yeah, apparently not yet.
Can we let you
Sorry,
quarterback this entire thing? God damn.
I have no clue why. I told you it was a bad idea. You guys are like, oh, let's let Jay do it all. Okay. I'm surprised that my computer hasn't caught on fire, to be honest with you.
I am surprised that you haven't just fucked that up too.
Yeah, I thought I did earlier, because I followed the settings for most of this pretty closely, but like one of the settings that I have completely different is the output gain. They say everything said to put it at 0. And if I put it at 0, it fucking blows up my fucking computer. It'll be lots of feedback and way too loud. I have to turn the output almost all the way down.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of fucking, blowing up computers, I thought I blew up my fucking headset. I was like, oh, that can't be good.
Yeah, so what else you got, Jay?
Oh, what else do I got? I don't know. Jesus Christ, I'm doing a fucking poor job with this show today. Rolling through Yahoo News. So did
you see that Chael Sonnen is the new light heavyweight champion of the UFC?
Yes, I did see that. I didn't watch the video. God damn it! There's someone calling me, and I recognize that fucking phone number, but I don't know what it is, so I'm gonna ignore it.
Yeah, you're not gonna fucking take phone calls during a goddamn show.
No, that's definitely not. Let me go ahead and put that. Go ahead and decline that. Yeah, I'm so up in the air with all my different with my job being started up so soon. I just realized that I need to think about any appointments I have in like the next couple of days. I have an appointment with the butt doctor, but I think that's on Monday, so I'll still be fine. And that's a teleconference, anyways. He just wants me to tell him how awesome he is that he fixed my stomach problem. I guess I don't really see the point for the follow up, but I guess they wanted extra money or something.
And just think, Jay, if you just would have from day one followed my nutritional guidance, you would have never had this issue.
You mean the well, no, you're right, because I still take pills and stuff. That helps as well, because diet's only part of the IBS thing. Part of it's stress and just like your body being an asshole. So, excuse me. So even if I followed your diet religiously, I might still occasionally have problems. So it's a good I went to the doctor. He's got me on a prescription that helps quite a bit. And a butt doctor is I guess he's well, he's not a real butt doctor. He's like a intestine gut doctor, digestive health, but he stuck a camera up my butt. So he's officially a butt doctor too. Right?
Yeah,
That's how that works.
About that. Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to click on the U.S. thing under the news and see if there's anything that's not about the old protests. And I'm starting to miss the coronavirus articles, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they kind of disappear. The problem is like in a couple weeks when this died down, like all of a sudden coronavirus is going to come raging back because of all the thousands of people that decided that they need to be, shoulder to shoulder in the street.
Yeah, and it's funny. My work is taking it very seriously, and my wife is already going through different processes, trying to think how she can give the best service to, the best service to the members while still maintaining the social distancing and the cleaning and stuff like that. For example, we have complimentary hair dryers there apparently, for in the ladies' locker room. And before, they just hang on a rack. You pay, like near the mirror, you take it off the rack. You dry your hair and then you put it back on the rack. She's rather than take the dryers away and tell the members that they have to bring their own, she's trying to think of some way, or like just to tell the members just to leave the hair dryer on the counter when you're done, and she'll disinfect it and hang it back on the rack. Just little shit like that. Stuff that, like last year, you wouldn't even be thinking about stuff like this. Like she has candy in the ladies' locker room that she has to get rid of now because you can't have stuff like in communal containers and shit. Just all kinds of little things.
Yeah, this is why I'm glad I don't have to worry about this shit for another almost 3 months.
Yeah. Myself, it's funny. I'm not worried about getting sick at all. In that I'm scared of being sick or dying or anything like that. I am scared to death about being sick because it would fuck up my work. I can't go back to work if I test positive for any of that shit for good reasons. There's lots of old people there. I don't want to kill off our membership. But I don't think my job will be affected that much. The members normally come up to my desk and they're with a window in between us, so it's an open window. So they're really at about 4 feet away from me anyway. So they might just like put up a line around my window so that they have to stand 6 feet away. Other than that, I suspect they might make me wear a mask, which won't be cool. So I don't really want to wear a mask for 8 hours a day, but there's not much I can do about that. Lots of people are dealing with that. Other than that, I don't know. There's going to be all kinds of changes. It's going to be weird to find out what's going on. And to make it worse, this is the general manager's last year. He's the guy that hired me out of a CVS. Has been the big boss of the country club the entire time I worked there. And I don't want him to retire at all. He's been a great boss, best boss I've ever had. Saved me from a life of fucking unemployment, probably, since the CVS soda department wasn't a career that I was probably going to be able to stick with. So, and now the season's already a third of the way over. So I'm going to miss the dude. I haven't met the new general manager, but I'm worried about that. Everyone says he's nice, but you know how that is. You don't change is bad. And if you have a great boss, you're really going to get a better boss. So we'll see how it's going.
So basically in like, what is it, 5-6 months here, we're going to have a huge thread on the OG by one passive J. Hey guys, got fired today.
I hope not. I do like my job, and I'm glad to be going back there. And yes, Homelander, this show is legit brutal. I just didn't have time to come up with stuff to talk about. I'm sorry, guys. I'll try to do better tomorrow. I mean, if you guys want to talk about protest stuff, that's easy. They'll just click on the random thing, or, random articles. Oh, look, the 3 former officers charged in George Floyd's death make first to court appearance. So yeah, all 3 of the officers, in addition to the original one, have now all been charged with something, which is kind of not surprising. I don't think. They're going to be charged with second-degree aiding and abetting felony murder and second-degree aiding and abetting manslaughter in the death of the 46-year-old man. And now this is where I think they're fucking up. The main officer was initially charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter, but those charges are being upgraded to second-degree murder. And I don't think you're going to be able to make those stick. I don't, because oh wow, I clicked back from reading it. The juge just said the exact same thing. They're not going to be able to make that stick. It wasn't an intentional murder, as Tanner said the other day. The guy obviously wasn't intending to kill the guy while he was obviously on camera. He's an idiot, but I don't think that was intentional. So, and it should be pretty easy to prove that it wasn't intentional. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out in a regular court. Obviously, you get out, but as Homelander's mentioning, it's not a normal situation. So he might end up with a murder 2 charge sticking that it really shouldn't.
Regardless, that dude should be in jail for the rest of his life. And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the fucking problem is when you start looking at really the best description for it is actually manslaughter 2, which is basically like you being completely negligent and it ending up with someone's death. The problem
Right.
is like, so you can definitely say the guy was negligent, but after a certain amount of time, like it goes beyond just like plain negligence. Like you can use the negligence excuse of, oh, I crushed your goddamn neck. But once the guy goes completely unresponsive, there's no fucking pulse, and you just stay there for several minutes after, like, at that point, second-degree manslaughter just isn't enough, because I think the max sentence for that is like 25 years. So he'd probably end up getting like 10 or 15 and then out in like 5.
Right, and that's bullshit. Now, if you could guarantee the maximum sentence and with no parole, I think 25 years is a sufficient charge. That's basically half of a life sentence, anyways. The guy's in his 40s. It's probably he'll be in his like 60s or 70s when he gets out. But
well, like so,
but
that's the
like
thing.
you said, that's
you
not how
give
the
him
law works.
you give him 25 without the possibility of parole, he's not going to see the end of 25 years. Because they're not going to be able to keep him out of Gen Pop for 25 fucking years.
It's possible. I mean, I don't know a ton about the prison system, but I've watched a lot of the documentaries, and there's people that spend their entire prison term in protective custody.
You keep him in protective custody for the entire time, and he's going to kill himself.
Oh yeah, that's a rough place to be because there's different levels of protective custody.
Yeah, like that dude. That dude, if he has a full 25 years, he's not making it out alive.
Right. Because, like, from what I understand, like, there's general protective custody where you get thrown in with all the other people under protective custody, and then after that, there's basically just isolation protective custody. And you probably need that because even getting thrown in with like the other cops and the child molesters and all the other people that get targeted in the general population, he might still get targeted there.
Well, yeah, like the second that he has any interaction with anyone not white, he's going to be fucked.
Right. So yeah, but as Homelander said, he'll be in isolation, 23-hour lockdown, and that's rough.
And you cannot do that for 25 years and come out a functioning human.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, people do it all the time, but as you can see from the prison documentaries, they're not functioning humans anymore. They're fucking just weirdo. I don't want to say weirdos, but they've been mentally fucked up from having that happen too long. They're not normal people anymore.
It's against what we're built for as a human. Like, I'm surprised that, like, well, yes, I understand it for protective, like, lockdown and isolation, but them using it as a punishment in the prison system, like, I'm really surprised that has not been to the point where it's considered cruel and unusual.
I think because it's such a necessary thing in certain ways that it's hard to, well, like you said, it's hard to justify it because of how horrible it can be. It's in some cases it's necessary. It's like, well, they're in protective isolations, or basically we're sentencing them to death because if they're not in that protective isolation 23 hours a day, they're going to die. So
right. What I was talking more for is the like punitive isolation. The like you fucked up in Gen Pop and now your punishment is 60 days in the hole.
Right. I guess I assume the counterpoint to that would be that they need that type of punishment to control the population because there's not many other things they can punish them with.
Right. Yeah. I guess I just don't get how we haven't figured that shit out yet.
Yeah. It's
like we've had prisons for like, how many hundreds of years now? in this country, and like we haven't figured out how to, as Homelander said, like pivot from restitution to rehabilitation.
Right. And being the science fiction nerd that I am, I've read plenty of stories about that happening forcibly, and in the future where prisoners and when criminals commit crimes, they're not put in jail, they're rehabilitated. A lot of times against their will, like with behavior modification, whether it be a chip in their head or whatever, to make them a regular citizen again. And most of those stories revolve around the ethical and moral quandaries of doing that kind of thing.
This isn't fucking Star Trek, Jay.
Like Homelander's asking, like Aliens 3. I don't remember that movie. I saw the first 2 Aliens and I kind of lost interest after that. The first 2 were awesome. I don't think I ever saw 3. How about you, Ryan? You ever seen the third one?
Yeah, I don't remember any of like which ones they are.
Oh, there's a prison colony for pedophiles on a prison colony on a different planet for pedophiles. Wow, yeah, there you go. Let's talk about protective custody, huh? Send them all to the pedo planet.
Yeah, the whole pedo thing. Yeah, we should just kill those people.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of those things. It's funny because people are like, oh, it's a mental illness. Well, yeah, obviously it is. It reminds me of once again talking science fiction. This guy that was.
How about we relate these things to like real life?
Okay, well, no, but there's no science fiction involved in this. It was just in a science fiction book. This guy that was in jail was complaining about people that try to plead not guilty by reason of insanity or being under the influence of drugs. And he said, well, yeah, obviously you are insane. Normal people don't kill people. So yeah, the guilty by reason of not guilty by reason of insanity makes zero sense. Yeah, you'd have to be crazy to fucking kill people. And they're like, oh, he can be rehabilitated and be made better. Well, yeah, but don't you think anyone who killed a whole bunch of people and then was rehabilitated to realize how wrong that is wouldn't just fucking kill themselves out of guilt?
Yeah, the whole insanity plea thing, that's not really, like, it doesn't work like a lot of people think. It's not you get to plead insanity and then you walk free.
No. You end up in like basically psychiatric care,
which can be just as bad or worse than prison.
Right. I've seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I know how that shit works.
God damn it, Jay! You can't reflect everything to a movie or a book.
Well, I don't know. Am I wrong? Have you seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
God damn it, Jay! These things are not documentaries. They're for entertainment only. They are fiction.
Right. The other quote that he
except for
used,
Idiocracy, that is a forward-looking documentary.
He actually used another quote that I thought was pretty cool too. He said he thought the excuse of being under the influence of drugs or alcohol was a bullshit excuse. He goes, you're the person that decided to put that drugs or alcohol into your body. It's your responsibility, regardless of what happens after that. It was your choice to do it.
Well, yeah, that's never an excuse. You being on something
that's more that
you put yourself in that situation.
No, legally that's not a defense. But I've heard people, and he's right. I've heard people talk about that all the time. Oh, you can't blame me for that. I was all drunk or fucked up, or yeah, I accidentally killed that guy, but I was all fucked up. I didn't mean to do that shit. That sort of stuff. Normally from ex-cons and this sort of thing. And I agree. You're the one to decide to put that shit into your body. You're responsible for your actions regardless.
Well, the only thing you can feel any empathy for is like if somebody's having a bad hallucinogenic trip.
Oh, yeah.
Because then they are experiencing like a completely different reality. But like things that you do if you're drunk or you're high or you're on cocaine or shit like that, like, sorry, those are things that you would have done sober that you just didn't have the balls to do.
Yeah, a lot of them, yeah. Oh, and look at the time. Thank God this show's fucking over. I apologize, guys. I have no clue why it went off the rails so badly. I'll do a better job for us to have stuff to talk about. I want to thank the OG Army for showing up. Please show up again tomorrow. I promise we'll do better. I wanted to thank that dude that called in earlier. I'm still not quite sure why he called or what he wanted, but I always appreciate the phone calls. Shit, Dalton, you got anything else?
I've got two things. Number one, what the fuck are you apologizing for? I'm a goddamn national treasure. People want to hear me talk. They may want to hear you talk, but god damn it, they're here every fucking day. Don't apologize. We're fucking entertaining. God damn it, we're fucking entertaining.
Fair enough. What else you got?
After this head rush subsides, fuck all y'all.
You guys all have a great night. We'll see everybody tomorrow at 6. Bye-bye.
Screw you, hippie!